year, on August 14th, long before the national tricolour fills the skies of India, a different colour dominates the hills of Nagaland and other Naga-inhabited regions, a deep blue flag emblazoned with a rainbow and a star. It is a symbol not of India's independence, but of a declaration made one day earlier, in 1947, by a people determined to chart their own destiny. This is Naga Independence Day, a date that carries both pride and pain, rooted in the conviction that the Naga people are a distinct nation with their own history, culture, and political identity separate from the Indian Union. The roots, a people apart. The Nagas, spread across present-day Nagaland, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Assam, and parts of Myanmar, have a history of autonomy. For centuries they lived in self-governed village republics, rarely subject to outside rulers. Written records of their interactions appeared during the medieval period, when the Ahom kingdom in Assam engaged in limited trade and occasional skirmishes with Naga villages. During British colonial rule, the Naga Hills were administered as an excluded area, meaning they were not governed directly by the British governor without being integrated into mainstream Indian administration. This isolation preserved much of the Naga way of life, but it also laid the groundwork for the political consciousness that emerged in the 20th century. From Naga Club to Naga National Council, in 1918, educated Nagas returning from World War I formed the Naga Club, a social and political forum that would later plant the seeds of nationalism. In 1929, the Naga Club famously submitted a memorandum to the Simon Commission, asking the British to leave the Nagas alone when they quit India. By 1946, this aspiration had taken a more organized shape in the Naga National Council, NNC, led by Angami Zapu Fizo and others. The NNC's stance was clear. The Nagas, as a distinct people, should determine their own political future. The meeting with Gandhi. Early in 1947, with the British departure imminent, the NNC sent a delegation to meet Mahatma Gandhi in Delhi. Gandhi, known for his moral clarity, reportedly told them, "Nagas have every right to be independent. We will not compel you to join India, but you must be prepared to defend your freedom." These words, whether meant as moral encouragement or political advice, emboldened the NNC to take a decisive step. August 1947, the declaration. On August 14, 1947, one day before India's independence, the NNC declared the Naga region independent. From the Kohima Head Post Office, telegrams were dispatched to the King of England, the Government of India, the United Nations. The message was simple but bold. The Nagas did not consider themselves part of the soon-to-be-born Indian Union. They were proclaiming sovereignty on their own terms. Not alone in the moment, the Nagas' declaration was part of a larger wave of political fluidity in 1947. On the same date, Pakistan emerged as a separate dominion. The princely state of Hyderabad declared its independence, only to be annexed by India in 1948. Jammu Kashmir initially tried to remain independent before acceding to India under duress. But while these entities eventually integrated into India or Pakistan, the Nagas stood by their declarations, setting the stage for decades of tension. The plebiscite of 1951. India, asserting that Nagaland was part of its territory, moved to integrate the region. In response, the NNC held a plebiscite on May 16, 1951. According to NNC records, 99.9% of Nagas voted in favor of an independent Naga nation. This overwhelming result became a cornerstone of Naga political claims. However, the government of India refused to recognize the plebiscite, and tensions escalated into armed conflict. The years of armed struggle. By 1958, the situation had deteriorated into open hostilities. The Indian Parliament passed the Armed Forces Special Powers Act, AFSPA, granting the military sweeping powers in disturbed areas, a designation that covered most of the Naga Hills. For many Nagas, AFSPA became a symbol of oppression, associated with human rights abuses, displacement, and trauma. Generations grew up in the shadow of a conflict that ebbed and flowed but never fully ended. The flag and the nationhood symbol. In 1956, the NNC formally adopted the Naga national flag, deep blue with a rainbow and a star, and first hoisted it in the Parashan Rengma area. It symbolized peace, hope, and the spiritual aspirations of the Naga people. Despite India's non-recognition, the flag remains central to the identity and commemoration of Naga Independence Day. From ceasefires to peace talks, the 1960s saw intermittent ceasefires and attempts at dialogue, but a final settlement proved elusive. In 1975, the Shillong Accord sought to end hostilities, but it split the Naga movement, leading to the emergence of the National Socialist Council of Nagalim, NSCN, in 1980, later divided into factions. The most significant breakthrough came on August 3, 2015, when the Indian government signed the framework agreement with the NSCN-IM, recognizing the unique history and position of the Nagas and committing to work towards an inclusive solution. While not a final settlement, it marked a shift towards negotiation rather than confrontation. Why August 14th still matters. For Nagas, August 14th is not merely a date from the past. It is a reaffirmation of their political identity, a reminder that even before India became free, they had declared themselves free. It is celebrated with flag hoisting in towns and villages, cultural programs showcasing Naga heritage, community feasts, memorial services honoring those who died in the struggle. The day serves both as a commemoration of sacrifices and as a declaration of continued aspirations for self-determination. The Indian perspective, from New Delhi's viewpoint, the Naga Declaration of 1947 was not legally binding. The Indian state maintains that the territory of Nagaland was inherited from British India, making it part of the Union. Successive governments have pursued a combination of military action and political negotiation to manage the issue. Yet, the framework agreement's acknowledgement of shared sovereignty indicates a potential path for reconciliation, one that could allow the Nagas to preserve their identity while remaining within the Indian constitutional framework. A complex legacy. The Naga struggle is one of the longest-running political conflicts in South Asia. It is also one of the least understood outside the Northeast. Part of the reason is geographical. The hills are far from the mainland's political centers, but part is also historical, rooted in a narrative that diverges sharply from the Indian national story. Looking forward. While a final settlement remains pending, there is a growing realization among both Nagas and the Indian government that peace cannot come through force alone. Mutual respect for history, identity, and aspirations will be key. For younger generations of Nagas, August 14th is not only about the past, it is about the future they hope to shape, one in which their cultural and political identity is respected, whether inside or outside the Indian Union. In the words of my dear childhood friend, martyred, Lutan Kol Varething Hongrenau, at Athing Haonau of Hunfun Ukrul, once summed up the meaning of Naga Independence Day. For us, August 14th is not a protest against India. It is a reminder to ourselves that we were a people before 1947, and we will remain a people no matter what the political map says. The day before India, in the vast tapestry of India's independence, August 15th holds center stage. But in the Naga Hills, the day before August 14th tells a different, parallel story. A story of a small but determined people who, as the Union Jack came down, raised their own flag to the wind and told the world, "We are free." Whether that freedom is ever fully realized in the way the NNC envisioned remains uncertain, but as long as the blue flag flies each August 14th, the declaration made in 1947 will not be forgotten.